Psychic Bob, and I'm here live at Glastonbury still. Gosh, I tell you, it's been a busy week. I just got here last Monday, and it's now a week I've been in England. But with Christmas this week, the last stuff's been closed, so we have a lot more to show you here. Next week we'll be having, or I guess this upcoming week I should say, we'll be having stuff. A lot of you have been saying, Psychic Bob, what about going to the Glastonbury, to the famous Chalice Well and the tour? We're going to get all that to you. It's just this week it's been rough with getting over being ill and then having to prepare for the shutdown of the stores. A lot of stores are down for the next few days. So we had to buy groceries and do stuff around here. But we got more to show you, so just hang with us. How are you tonight, Lamb Chop? You're excited? What are you excited about? What, your crystal? Oh, that's beautiful. Wait a second. Isn't that Baroness Kolobob's crystal that you're wearing? Well, that's beautiful. Yeah, it is a Lemurian crystal. Yes, I did give it to her for Christmas. But why are you wearing it? She said you could wear it because you're becoming a Capricorn. She said that's your zodiac sign. You need to identify as a Capricorn. Now, I tell Baroness you're an Aries. I already decided. She's bribed you. She gave you her crystal to make you denounce my astrology. You don't know about that. Well, I know all about that. Well, we'll have a talk with her when she gets here. She should be here in just a few minutes. There she is. Hello, Baroness. Hey,
he's a Capricorn.
She said he's a Capricorn.
He's a Capricorn.
He wants you to hold him. Oh, my goodness gracious. What are we going to do?
Going on a plate.
Well, we're having a great time in Glastonbury. And if you haven't seen it, every day I'm putting out like 2 videos, except for the last 2 days. I did put out a video this morning, an early morning walk. It's Boxing Day here in England. So if you want to learn about that, see my video from this morning. A lot of you came out and saw. We had a good time. But we're going to have a morning video and then an evening show. So, well, tomorrow So tomorrow I'll have a morning video. I'm going to go somewhere in the morning. And then tomorrow afternoon at 12 o'clock noon Eastern time, we will have messages from the spirit world as we always do. So I know we've been a little out of schedule with travel and holiday, but we will be doing as much regular stuff as we can. So tomorrow will be messages from the spirit world, 12 o'clock noon. So don't forget it. So I'm so glad you guys are here. And gosh, there's a lot of people here. There's Robert Stevens. There's Christine C. There's Amy Radcliffe. There's TGVG, Lady Jane of the Earl Grey Tea Tribe. Michelle Marzano. Yay. There's CR. Hi, CR. CR says, feel better, Psychic Bob. Thank you. I'm doing better. Cole and I have been a little under the weather, but we're getting there. We took ibuprofen today. And let me tell you, it's a miracle drug. I swear by it. So thank you. I'm doing much better. Thank you. There's the great Iberian witch. Lamb chops with cola right now. There's Christine C. There's Melinda Tournay. Hello, hello. Yes, we're feeling better, believe it or not. This morning was very doubtful. When I did that video, I was feeling pretty good. And then I got home and I started feeling really ill. I laid down and then I got ibuprofen in me and I started to feel better. So I'm doing much better. So I'm trying to take it slow, Cola said this. She said, I've been a wimp lately, but I think she was a wimp. Anyways, we're good. It's all good. Golly, gee, it's so good to have you guys here. Here's Robin Boston. Hello, Robin. By the way, welcome to this channel. I should forget to introduce myself because a lot of you, or some of you, may not know who I am. I'm Psychic Bob Hickman. I'm a psychic medium and an astrologer. And welcome, you've landed at my channel, Spirit Channel. And this channel is dedicated to spiritual things, spiritual life. And every Monday we gather here and we do astrology. I love astrology. I've been studying astrology since I was a kid. And it's part of my joy. Monday is my day off. That's why I don't do any readings or business on Monday. But I do like to come here and hang out with you. Now, some people are, I said, Bob, it's your day off. Just forget YouTube. Don't even do astrology. But what a lot of people don't understand is that for me, astrology is relaxing. It kind of gets me out of the stress and I just have fun with it. So we're going to have our astrology here in just a few minutes. But I wanted to show you, speaking of jewelry, that was a beautiful pendant that Lamb Chop was wearing. I did get that for Cole. It's a Lemurian crystal. And I'm decked out in jewelry today, too. This I'm wearing, some of you may have seen this before, but if you haven't been here in a while, you might not have. But this is my new Aquarius, my most recent acquisition. It's a gold tone Aquarius pendant. Isn't that cool?
We've seen it first.
Well, not everybody's seen it. Cola said everybody's already seen it. They don't want to see it. Anyway, some of you love jewelry as much as I do. There's beautiful crystals around it. So I'm wearing that today. And then what do you got, Cola?
Did I show you my crown?
She's picking on me. All right. And then some of you may know this bracelet. I haven't worn this a long time. This is called a Navaratna bracelet. It came from India. It's the 9 gems of the Zodiac, the 9 planets of the Zodiac. So it's kind of cool. So I'm wearing that. These are real jewels from India. It's an emerald, a citrine, cat's eye, a diamond, ruby, it's a blue sapphire, garnet, coral, and pearl. So there you go. All right. So there's my gems of India. Actually, the yellow is actually yellow sapphire. It's not citric. This is actual yellow sapphire. So there you go. I'm in my astrology jewelry. Oh, and my shirt today is the Green Man. All over Glastonbury, people have the Green Man in their stores. He's worshipped here. A lot of shrines to him everywhere. So I'm wearing my Green Man shirt.
It's a tree with 1,000 faces.
It's a tree with 1,000 faces. There you go.
Anybody who mocks the Green Man needs a slap on the chin.
Yeah. There was somebody recently who decided to insult my faith in the Green Man, but we're just ignoring that. But I'm so glad you guys are here. Welcome to Astrology Monday. It's always fun to be here with you guys. I'm having a little trouble with the chat because I'm in a setup here. It's hard to read. Martha Herrera. Oh, there's Martha Herrera Music says, "Hi, PsychicBob. I've been watching you ever since the Michael Jackson seance. I was actually in the UCLA hospital when he passed. The whole place was put on lockdown. Thank you for everything you do." Thank you, Martha. That's lovely. Thank you for sharing that you've been a supporter here. I'm sorry you were there when Michael passed, but I guess you're part of history, aren't you? Well, I'm glad you're here tonight. Welcome. There's Robin Boston says, "I saw it, but it's beautiful." See, she saw my jewelry too, but she likes it. Thank you. If I'm boring you guys, forgive me. Hey, there's Gary M. Good to see you. Welcome. Melinda Tornay says, "Baroness Colabobs, you are a beautiful woman. Don't be afraid to be seen on camera. Now me and you would scream and go blind." There's Robin Boston says, "Love that bracelet. Thank you. This is one of my favorite pieces of my jewelry. It's real. This is all real gems. It's not fakes." I love my jewels. There's Stardust C. Says, "Hi, PsychicBob. Hope you're feeling better." She says, "Hi, Colabobs. You gonna come over and say hi?"
He's got a nice set of crown jewels from my Bob's house.
I do. I have some beautiful crown brooches. And anyway, so yeah, so you know me and my jewelry. I'm on a jewelry mission quest. While I'm here, I decided because like I don't need more stuff in my house, but I see so many tempting things in this town. So I decided to discipline myself and only buy jewelry. So the only thing I'm going to bring back from England is some jewelry pieces. That way I'm not lugging down a bunch of stuff. And when I was younger, I used to buy knickknacks. I love them. But you know what? I've had too many knickknacks in my house. So no more knickknacks, just jewelry, because that's practical. I use it all the time. Well, I am just so glad you guys are here. And we're going to sit down and talk about what's going on with the stars. Did you guys make a cup of tea? I always tell you, come to this show with a cup of tea so you can relax and sip your tea and see what's going on. So good. Well, speaking of what's going on, let's get into that, shall we? Hold on, I got to find my notes here. Today I was going through the charts and looking at everything. So I should probably say that this forecast. Oh, by the way, before we forget, I got a few more announcements. We are going to have psychic development class this upcoming Saturday. I'll send out a notice. If you're interested in that, you can register at my website, PsychicBob.com. Just go over there, and there's a thing called services at the top. Click on that, and you can scroll down, read about the psychic development class. You can register and pay for it at my website. It'll send me a notice that you've registered, and I'll put you on the list. And we're going to have that class on Saturday on Zoom. So if you want to know if we're having it, yes, we will. All right. Now, the other thing is, do not forget to be here at 7 p.m. on December 31st. That is going to be our live annual New Year's Eve show. And I'm going to give out my annual predictions for what is coming in 2023. And you guys have told me in the years past it's shocking because a lot of everything I've been saying has been coming to pass. I predicted some major earthquakes in Mexico right to the dates. I predicted some other stuff that's happened with weather around the world. Some economic stuff I forecast came to pass. So it's always something. And I'm going to have some pretty important announcements this year. So you don't want to miss it. Come join us. December 31st, be here at Spirit Channel. New Year's Eve, our live show. And we're going to talk about annual predictions. And I hope you'll be here. Okay, so join us then. All right, so today's forecast, this is the part I always forget. Today's astrology covers the time period of Monday, the 16th of December, 2022 through Sunday, the 1st of January, 2023. So December 16th, Monday through Sunday, New Year's Day, okay, 2023. That's the time period, everything in this forecast. All right, so what do we got going on? Well, we're starting off our week here on Monday with our sun in Capricorn. By the way, we went into the sign of Capricorn just a few days ago on December 22nd. We'll be in the sign of Capricorn from December 22nd through January 19th. So happy birthday to our Capricorn babies. You're in your power time. When I get to your horoscope, I'll explain more about that. Know for right now, our sun starting off our week in Capricorn. We've got our moon in the sign of Aquarius today, and I love it because I'm an Aquarius. I'm feeling the power. Woo! I think that's why my health's getting better, because I'm feeling the power. All right, so sun in Capricorn and moon in Aquarius. And Colin, I love this because these are our signs. She's a Capricorn, I'm an Aquarius. So we kind of feel like that's like a sign for us today. All right, so what have we got going on? Well, this week we got interesting stuff. We've got our sun square Jupiter. This is a major transit this week. And what this does is this gives you kind of the edge. You've got luck. This is sun square Jupiter. Now, I should probably explain this. People say, well, wait a second, Psychic Bob. Square, I thought you said was a negative, challenging aspect. Whenever Jupiter comes into play, no matter what appears negative is always positive. It does have its challenges, which I'll explain in a minute. But today we're starting off, and this, by the way, this transits are for everybody, all 12 zodiac signs. So don't say, well, does that apply to me? Yes, it applies to you. Now, we'll get into individual horoscopes in a little while, but right now we're talking about the major transits that are affecting everybody, no matter who you are, okay? So right now, our sun is square Jupiter, all right? Now, what this does is this gives you the lucky edge. You just feel on top of your game, feel like you've got the edge in negotiations. People in business, this gives them a lot of negotiating ability. So if you're trying to close a big business deal, this week's a good week because sun square Jupiter says you can get in, negotiate, and gain some good ground here. Now, the challenge of sun square Jupiter, because square does have a little challenging aspect, though not much in this, is that people sometimes get so full of themselves, they make assumptions and they get cocky and slip up on something. So don't be overly confident this week, or you feel like you don't have to try, or, some people have attitude, well, if I just show up for work, it's good enough. No, you have to not just show up for work. You got to do your best. So sun square Jupiter sometimes makes people slack off and they don't do their best. Okay. So you want to be aware of that. You have the edge, but you still have to work it and be on your game. So don't get cocky and think, oh, I don't have to try. I've already won, because it's not guaranteed. But you do have the advantage if you're drawing energy from Sun square Jupiter. Hi, Stardust C. She says, hey, Psychic Bob, looking forward to the annual predictions for 2023. Thank you, Stardust. Make sure to be here. It'll be January 31st, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Hope you'll join us. Thank you. Hey, there's Ramona, 9954. Hey, Ramona, good to see you. By the way, I'm having a weird hair day. I don't know what's going on with my hair. Looks strange, but hope you'll.
That was my fault, Bob's.
Oh, that was your fault?
Yeah.
She did.
I've been pulling his hair again.
She pulled my hair. All right. So, Sun square Jupiter. I forget, she just totally distracts me.
It's the Coca-Cola.
It's the Coca-Cola. She gets on that Coca-Cola. All right. So what else have we got going on? So Sun square Jupiter, you got some edge. It's power aspect, but still work it. You know, what's that old saying? You know, and I think this is kind of like Sun square Jupiter. If I put it in a context, you'll understand. You know, there's a saying which is like, they say, pray as if only God can help you, but work as if there is no God to help you. And that's how you want to be during Sun square Jupiter. It's like, do your best. You will have the edge, but don't assume it, because then you'll mess yourself up. But for those who are trying to do their best, this aspect gives you that kind of edge. Trust your inner voice, you know. Your intuition will help you a lot, you know. All right, so. All right, now we also have Mercury sextile Neptune. Woo! Feeling it. Mercury sextile Neptune opens our inner dialogue. Barris thinks I've lost it. I probably have. I don't know, maybe traveling to England, you know, air pressure on the plane did something, maybe a little wacky. Either way. So Mercury sextile Neptune means pay attention to your inner dialogue. You will feel in touch with your psychic self. Your inner world, your inner voice is going to be talking to you this week. Take advantage of it. Listen. You know, so many of us, we get distracted by the outer world. We run around. We're like this and this and this. And what's the latest sell at Harrods? And we miss our own inner voice that says, you know, love your neighbor. Go help that person down the street whose car tire is flat. Bring in that neighbor and serve them hot soup because their heat's out in their house. That's that Mercury sextile Neptune. We just know what needs to be done. We know where spirit leads us. We're led by our higher selves. So Mercury sextile Neptune means open. There's a lot of power opening the inner dialogue now. So honor that, take it, and run with it, okay? So I think it's great. You know, we'll talk more about it on New Year's, but January 1st this year, we're going to have our moon, and I think this is a good sign. On New Year's Day, our moon is going to be in the sign of Taurus. And Taurus is a great way to start the year. It's a stabilized, since that's an earth sign. It means greater prosperity. So I think 2023 is going to be a better year financially for really all of us. I know that a lot of people have been feeling this whole economic crunch this last year, the year before with, you know, other stuff going on. And 2023, I think, is going to be a little more prosperous, a little more grounded, a little more balanced, okay? So we'll get more into that as we get closer, but just know for right now, New Year's, our moon's in Taurus, our sun's in Capricorn, is double earth energy, double financial blessing. Things get moving, okay? All right, so these are kind of the major transits. There's not a lot going on right now. It's kind of quiet, but that's okay. Quiet's not bad. All right. So, well, now we're going to spin around our big zodiac. Well, you know, I feel funny. I don't have my big tapestry here. I should have brought it with me. I could have probably got it in my bag and then put it on the wall. Well, that's all right. Y'all know what the zodiac wheel looks like. All right. So we're going to now give individual horoscopes for all 12 signs. How do you like that? Okay. Axiom says no Coke, Pepsi. Axiom says, I've been connecting with Michael Jackson. He loves you, Psychic Bob. Well, God bless you, Axiom. I hope he does. I always loved Michael Jackson. And I was really shocked when he came through that day. It changed my world. And you know, the Jackson family put my video up on their family website. I was really touched by that. I'm glad it helped them. Axiom, I'm not able to, because of censorship, to discuss the second subject on Elon. Can't really talk about that. So anyway, so we're going to stay focused on astrology, though. Okay. So these are our astrology signs. Now, if you don't know what zodiac sign you are, listen up, because I'll give the birth dates after each sign. And where you hear the sign where your birth date falls, that is your zodiac sign, okay? So, for example, Aries is March 21st through April 19th. So if your birthday is anywhere on those dates, that you are an Aries, okay? All right, very good. So we're going to start with that at the top of our zodiac. Well, Aries, March 21st through April 19th. You know, right now, Aries, you've got an interesting alignment. You've got Jupiter in your sign in the 9th house. And this is encouraging you to invest your time, invest your money in travel and in learning. This is a time for you, Aries, to go out into the bigger world, discover what's out there, put yourself into the world, learn a new culture, learn a new way of traveling, learn a new culture. If you, Aries, have time to, literally jump on a plane and travel the world, this is the time to do it. Aries, you want to invest in deeper exploration for your own life, for your own journey. And right now, the cosmos is supporting that. So, Aries, your work this week is discover, where you're being called to explore. Invest your money and time in travel, invest in learning, invest in education. Now, you don't necessarily have to travel far, but it's important that you put yourself into the bigger world outside your traditional comfort zone. And you're going to open up to learning soul lessons, meeting new people, learning a new way of looking at the world. So it's about discovery through travel and through education. So focus on that this week, Aries, and you're going to have an amazing, amazing time. Blessings to you, Aries. Yay! All right, next on our wheel is Taurus, and that's April 20th through May 20th. Right now, Taurus, you've got your sign in the 10th house, and you've got Uranus, Uranus and the North Node also lined in the 10th house with you. And what this is encouraging you right now, Taurus, is to break out of routines. That Uranian influence is encouraging you to be radical, to be forward thinking. That North Node pushes future agendas and future sight. So this week, Taurus, you might even feel a little prophetic or psychic. And you should definitely go with that, because everything for Taurus this week is about breaking out of old patterns, feeling radical, seeing a new way of things, daring to try new things. So don't be afraid to shake it up this week, Taurus. You are going to rock it. And you will be very forward thinking. People around you may not get it. They may think the Taurus person in their life has gone a little wonky. Don't worry about it. In the end, you will be right. You will be successful. And you'll have a great time in the process. So break the change. Be crazy as you want to be. Be advanced. Be forward thinking. Look forward, not back. And that's what Taurus needs to do for success this week. All right. There you go, Taurus. You got it. All right. Woo. Next sign on our wheel is Gemini. And Gemini is May 21st through June 20th. Right now, Gemini, you got in your sign in the 11th house. And what that's opening up for you is inspiration, particularly inspiration that comes from friendships. This is a time, Gemini, when you want to really be close to your friends and listen to them. There are words of wisdom. People around you, in a sense, are almost like channels of knowledge for you. And if you've got a problem, you're thinking, gee, I'm stuck on this issue. I don't know what I want to do. Look at your friends. They will be the word of spirit for you. They will channel inspiration to you. They will give you the path that you need to know to move forward. So this week, Gemini, it's not about going it alone. It's about bringing your friends with you to be your allies on the journey. So, draw inspiration from your friendships. And that is your key to success, your key to joy, your key to happiness. All right? So go out, see and be seen, be with your people, be with your tribe, and let it empower you in whatever way you need to be empowered. And it's going to be an awesome week. Blessings to you, Geminis. Yay, Gemini. All right, next sign on our wheel is Cancer, and that's June 21st through July 22nd. Right now, Cancer, you are floating through the 12th house of the zodiac. And this is all about the inner world, the inner mysteries, the dream life, the deep intuitions. Cancer, you're probably, of all the signs this week, the most psychically aligned. So don't waste that. If you're a Cancer and you're saying, Psychic Bob, I'm a big Cancer, I ain't got a psychic bone in my body. Well, this week you do. I really want to encourage Cancers this week to maybe start a dream journal. This is important this week that you really, really, really listen to the dreams, listen to the intuitions, listen to that little still small voice that whispers in the night, because it is giving you insight and power for growth, for change, for new beginning. So jump into the inner world. This is not a week for Cancer to be running around in the outer world, being a show off, trying to be a socialite. No, withdraw from the world. Just for this week, be about your inner vision and your inner voice, and then you will rock it. There you go, Cancer. You got your work cut out for you. Hold on, I got to drink some water. My voice is going on me here. All right, there we go. All right. And next sign on our wheel is Leo. Ooh, love my Leos. Ooh. Did you know a lot of movie stars are Leo? They are. They're wonderful. Leo, July 23rd through August 22nd. This week, Leo, this is an interesting week. You and Cancer are so opposite because right now your sign is on the ascendant starting off the week. And that means it is time for Leo to emerge back into the world, to go in with, as they say, flaming light, guns a-blazing. This is your time to be seen. Leo, this week for you, it's not about retreat. It's about engaging with the world. It's about being bigger than life, which Leos are very good at. So Leo, stand proud this week. Present your truth. Let the world know you're there. Definitely be there. If you're going to say you're going to be there, show up, show your stuff, show your talent, be gracious to everybody, and then you're rocking it. If you're a Leo and you're like, well, maybe I'll just go away to a far-flung island and sit in a jungle hut. That ain't going to work this week. You won't get anywhere doing that. It's time for Leo to go into the world. As Cancer is retreating into their solitude of reflection, you Leos are going out into the world. Isn't it interesting how signs can sometimes be in such contrast? But that's where it is for you guys. So I hope that gives you some insight. So as I like to say, Leo, go see and be seen. And you know what they used to say, 90% of success is just showing up. Leo, you got to show up. Blessings to you all. All right. Woo. Not great. Next sign on our wheel is Virgo. Virgo. Love Virgos. My brother's a Virgo. Virgo is August 23rd through September 22nd. Right now, Virgo, your sign, it's kind of quiet this week. You're just floating through the second house. There's not a lot of planetary action going on. But this is really a time of reflection for you. It's a time to reflect on what you have as your assets. What are your financial assets? What are your intangible assets, your talents? Virgo, you have a lot to give, but you need to kind of reflect on what you have to give. What do you bring to the table? This week for Virgo, it's a little like Cancer. It's more of an introspective time. It's more a time of self-evaluation. So Virgo, you don't have to go out and impress anybody. You be within yourself, knowing who you are, what you're about, what your talents are. And then you're going to have success this week. So it's reflection time. It's time to kind of reevaluate. Maybe you've devalued yourself in some way, Virgo. Maybe you thought, oh, I don't have anything to offer the world. But I tell you, if this week, if you sit down, and it might be even a good week for you just to rework your resume, get your resume out, study it, see what it means. What's on your resume? Have you forgotten talents that you have? What do you have to offer? If you focus on that and you work on that this week, when you go into the next few weeks, you're coming in from a place of power. So rebuild your power now, especially if you feel disempowered, through reflecting on your assets, your financial assets, your talents, and all that you bring to the world. And you might discover things that you had forgotten about yourself, and that brings joy to yourself as well. All right, Virgo, there's your homework for you. You got it? All right, rock it. You're going to do it. All right. Next sign on our wheel is Libra. I love my Libras. A lot of my friends have been Libras in my life. All right, Libra is September 23rd through October 22nd. All right. Right now, Libra, you're a little like the Virgos. There's not a lot going on, not a lot of planetary action. Your sign is passing through the third house right now. And the third house deals with what are our assets? What do we want to do going forward with our life? This is a time for Libra to look at their future. What are your future goals? Scott, thank you, Scott. Scott from South Carolina just donated $20 to the show. Did you see what he wrote for you, Colin? Yeah, you got it. Colin got it.
Thanks.
She says, thank you very much. Says for Cola, she deserves something sweet for all she does. I agree.
I bought myself a book.
She's going to get a book, she said. That's lovely.
John Day's book on.
Oh, yeah, we can get that. Yeah, downtown for it. All right. Scott, thank you. You just made her night. You're rocking, dude. Awesome. All right. All right. So, Libra, where was I? Libra. You're floating through the third house. This is a time of reflection for you. This is a time of looking at the future. Where do you want to be? What are your goals? If we don't have goals, we never make it anywhere. There's an old saying, and this is really for Libras this week. I think you guys will appreciate it. They say, failing to plan is planning to fail. I think that's very, very true. So this week, you want to plan. Where are you off key? Off key with your future. Can you get back on? Maybe you can make the future even better than you'd planned it earlier. I always say we have to look at our lives, not just once, but all the time. Sometimes we'll plan something and 10 years go by and we discover that wasn't the best plan. It's time to change things up. So this week, Libra, do it, plan it, be it, feel it, know it, intuit it. There you go, Libra. You got your homework cut out. All right, good job. All right, next sign on our wheel is Scorpio. That's October 23rd through November 21st. This is a really cool Scorpio. You got one of my favorite astrologies of the week, favorite horoscopes. Right now, you've got a lot of South Node action in the fourth house. And what that says is it's time for you to look at your past life connections with those in your life, particularly dealing with family. If you're in a family and you have an interesting or complex dynamic, consider it this week that some of that complexity may have a past life tie-in. The South Node is the part of the zodiac where we deal with past life issues. It's a point on the chart where it's like the southern section of the sky. And this week, you want to kind of use that inner wisdom that comes up with South Node energy to see where the complexities and the nuances of your family life, where it may come from. I think that families are soul groups, and I really believe that people do travel on soul groups in lifetimes and between lifetimes. And so right now, Scorpio, find out, have you ever felt like your brother was your brother before? Maybe it's like, I have a brother and we both feel like we've lived together and been brothers in other lives. Discover that. Maybe you're somebody you have a really messed up relationship with your dad. No matter what you try, you can't get it right. Maybe there's some past life stuff there. Maybe some past life therapy, a past life regression, or a reading with a psychic, such as myself. Not trying to make business, but just suggesting. Might help you with that. Maybe we can get to the root of why he's so hostile. Why does my mother not speak to me? Why does my family act chaotic? Why am I rejected by them? Sometimes these things have nothing to do with this life. It's literally past life karma. So explore that this week, Scorpio. That's a great and profound mystery. But that's your homework. All right? Look to the past to understand the present. There you go, Scorpio. Woo! All right, next sign on our wheel is Sagittarius. And that's November 22nd through December 21st. Woo! Sagittarius, you get a lot of fun this week because your sign is floating through the 5th house, which is all about personal creativity. It is time for you, Sagittarius, to bring out your inner artist, discover your creative side. Sagittarius, this is a great week for you to explore the arts, whatever form, whether it's painting, photography, music, whatever art inspires you. Maybe you would like to learn knitting and make, pot holders and scarves, anything crafty, anything creative, anything inspirational. That's what you want to put your energy into, Sagittarius. Come back to discovering what your talents are. What are you good at? What is your creative edge? Maybe, you'd use and say, I want to learn how to do photography. And so you treat yourself to a camera this week. And you discover you can make some award-winning photos and sell them and make a lot of money. All right. Oh, there's 007 in Connecticut says, I'm Sagittarius. Yay. All right, Sag. 007, you need to discover your inner artist. That's the word. Discover your inner artist, Sagittarius. Maybe you're Sagittarius. You've always thought, when I was younger, I wanted to learn to play the piano, but nobody ever taught me, or I took lessons and then I quit. And you always wondered. Go back to some of those childhood creative inspirations, and maybe you could revisit them. Maybe they can start you on a path that you gave up on long ago. That's kind of exciting, isn't it? All right, Sagittarius, you know what to do. Explore your inner artist. Blessings to you all. All right, next sign on our wheel is Capricorn. Yay. El Caprio. Come over here and say hi. Hold on, Colin. Colin is our resident Capricorn in the house. Capricorn in the house. So she's here representing for all you Capricorns. All right, so what do we got going on for Capricorn? Well, let me tell you, Cola. This is a really interesting time. Right now, you've got the sun in your sign. Put your phone down.
I'm not being that.
Okay, well, then you can take a break and talk to everybody here. All right, let everybody see you. Don't hide behind your phone. All right, so Capricorn, right now, I'm talking to you too. This is your power time. You've got the sun in your sign. Whenever you have the sun in your sign, that entire month, usually each zodiac sign runs about a month, is your power time. So from now until January 19th, you are in power mode, okay?
Ooh,
yep, you're in power mode. Now,
Jenny, we're in power mode.
Now, you guys also are in the 5th house as well, which means your personal creativity is heightened. It's a great time for you to explore your creative side, your artistic side. And you got the sun square Jupiter in your sign right now, which, as we said earlier, Sun square Jupiter, in particular, it's in Capricorn, gives Capricorns the edge in negotiations and in luck. So you got luck. Whatever you want to take on that's kind of complex, go ahead and take it on, Colin, because this means you got an edge in anything you're taking on that's challenging. Okay. So it's a power time for you. Also in your sign, you got Mercury sextile Neptune, which is that inner dialogue where that psychic voice is strong and powerful. So Capricorns, you got a lot of powerful alignments shaking out here. And I encourage all of you, please take advantage of it. It's only it's only once a year you get to have your power time like this. Of course, when the moon is in your sign, it's your power time as well. But right now for Caps, take advantage of it and enjoy it. All right, so there you go, Capricorn. Power time. You got the edge in luck. You got the edge in psychic power. And you got the solar power animating your whole life. So it's your power time. Capricorn power. Yay. All right, do you like that horoscope?
Yeah.
All right, she likes the horoscope.
But always Aquariuses are always the best ones, though.
Oh, I do not rig it. She's picking up. Somebody wrote me a letter and said I rigged the horoscopes to make Aquarius always a good horoscope. But any of you follow me over there, you know that sometimes that's first of all, that's not true. I don't rig anything. I only do it as it actually is. I know you don't. I know. But a lot of people don't know that. They think I rig it.
I just tease them all the time,
She picks on me every day.
Oh, you love it, Babs.
Do I?
Yeah. Is that why you first sparkled in your eye?
All right. Next sign on our wheel, Aquarius. Aquarius, Aquarius. All right, I won't sing today. I don't have a voice. And Aquarius is January 20th through February 18th. This is really interesting, Aquarius, because as many of you know, you've heard me talk about, but I'm not going to lie. Psychic Bob may have to reevaluate his positions on things sometimes. And anybody who's truly open-minded will. And I try to be open-minded. Right now, Aquarius, we are floating through the 7th house, which deals with marriage and soul connections with like deep, intimate people in our lives. We've got the moon and Saturn in our sign in the 7th house this week, which means you should seek soulmate connections. And there's no other way really to interpret this because these alignments really do promote a deep inner psychic connection with somebody. And now I have always said a lot of psychics go around saying everybody's soulmates. And I've always been a little skeptical of that. But the astrology today does bear out that for Aquariuses, this is a time to enter into most deep, profound connections with a soulmate. As I said, it's in the 7th house, which deals with marriage issues. But I think with that moon and Saturn influence, it's far deeper than just marriage on paper. It's literally soulmate connections. Have you ever met people that are a couple and they're married? Like they've been like, I knew my grandparents were like this. They lived up to like in their almost 90 years old. And they loved each other. They got married in like 1928. And they loved each other all the way. And I always felt like if there's such a thing as soulmates, my grandparents really typified it. And so, I think a lot of people use that term very loosely today. And that's why I've always been hesitant to use it.
No, your Kodak came along. That's why you didn't believe in soulmates until your Kodak came along.
That might have helped a little bit. But the astrology bears it out today. And I think that's what's important. So if you're an Aquarius now, this is a time for you to think about your soulmate connections. Maybe you want to be in a relationship. This is a good week to explore that. Maybe you're in the wrong relationship and you need to find your actual soulmate. Maybe you're in an abusive relationship You're like, how did I get here? This is a time for Aquarius to step back from all that and get a new look at life and love. Maybe you're an Aquarius, you've given up on love. You say, oh, it's never going to happen in my life. Well, these alignments say that special person may be entering very soon. Prepare yourself for it. So very deep stuff for Aquarius this week. It's all about love and long-term connection. This is not just like a casual fling. This is like a soul connection that lasts your lifetime. So if you never had that, be open to it this week. It may just surprise you. We're entering into the age of Aquarius. All right, there you go, Aquarius. You got your homework cut out for you.
There's a good comment of Janie.
What Janie said.
She says, meeting soulmate kind of helps with believing in soulmates, laughing out loud.
That's right. Janie said, did you guys hear that? Say it again, Cola. Can you say it?
Meeting soulmate kind of helps with believing in soulmates, laughing out loud.
All right. So meeting soulmates kind of helps believe it. Let me just read. I don't know if you guys could hear Cola off camera. Meeting soulmates kind of helps with believing in soulmates. LOL.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I think so. All right. So there you go, Aquarius. You might just connect with your soulmate this week. And if you haven't, explore that. All right. Woo! Next sign on our wheel, Pisces, the mystical fish. All right, Pisces is February 19th through March 20th. All right. You know, Pisces, you've got one of the most, I'd say besides Cancer, I think you, Pisces and Cancer are kind of tied this week for the most profound psychic strength. Right now, Pisces, you've got Neptune, which is your ruling planet, in your sign in the 8th house. It couldn't get more mystical and powerful than this. And what this means is that this week, Pisces, you can and should draw your power from spirit communications. If you're a Pisces, be open to the concept that there are beings in spirit guiding you that can come and give you wisdom that can help you move through your week. Don't look to the outer world this week, Pisces. There's no outer world energy for you. If you try to go hire a financial advisor or hire a consultant to help you with whatever you got to do, probably not going to get far. Now, that doesn't mean you should never, but this week, your power literally comes from the spirit world. So you want to embrace the spirit world. If you're a Pisces, well, I don't know if I believe in the spirit world. Just try it for this week. Start calling on your angels and guides. And if you don't know who they are, just give them a name. Say, hey, George, I'm going to call you down. I know I got a spirit guide somewhere. I'll call you George. Start a dialogue because the spirit people will talk to you. So this week, Pisces, explore spiritualism. If you don't know about spirit communication, look up books on spiritualism. There are many. Sir Arthur Conan Doyle wrote a lot. Doris Stokes wrote books on spiritualism. Arthur Ford, Edgar Cayce, all the great psychics have at least one book published. I even have books. You can read my book. My book, if you go to Amazon, is called Messages from Rose. And you can get that over at Amazon.com. I'm not saying this horoscope to make a book sale, but that's really what it says for Pisces. So my book, Messages from Rose, is a book on spiritualism. My early days as a medium and the work I did with my spirit guide, Rose, that may help you understand how spirit communication works. So Pisces, this week, it's all about give it up to the spirit. Whoo, and be glorified.
Glorified.
Oh, come over and do that on camera. Hold on, Cola's getting inspired.
Glorified.
Glorified.
I hate it.
All right, so there you go. Anyways, and guess what? We have spun around our big zodiac wheel.
Please don't sing that song.
I'm not singing it. I'm not singing it. I'm not singing it. No, I won't sing it. She's worried I'm going to hurt my voice. Really, she just hates the sound of my voice singing.
No, I don't.
So anyways, guys, there is our forecast for this week. And that's, again, if you forget, through today, Monday, December 26th through Sunday, January the 1st. Okay. We have a few minutes yet. If you guys want to, ask some questions. I'll take some astrology questions. Leo Murray says some people aren't connected to it, and they're good with that. I don't know what they're not connected to. Maybe I guess I missed something here. Okay. Christine C says, I love seeing the both of you together. Thank you. We're having the best time. Here's Robin Boston says, sounds like a good week. It's going to be a pretty good week, I think, So we'll be taking some legitimate questions now. Anybody want to ask anything? Leo Murray says, with the voices. Spirit voices? That's okay. You don't have to do it that way, but there's a lot, when we talk about astrology, one of the things I got to say is I like to tell people that I don't believe astrology fates our lives. It can be a guide. It should help us. But I always tell people, don't stop your living or feel that you must compulsively follow an astrologer's advice. Everything's in motion in the cosmos. And I always say, take what you want, leave the rest behind, Hi, Michelle Marzano. Michelle says, love to see you two together, too. Thank you so much.
Took them long enough, like. I've been waiting 3 years.
Rambo says, everybody must be worn out tonight.
Yeah,
we're all tired after holiday. Did you guys all have a happy Christmas? I hope so. Our Christmas was a little rough here. We couldn't half eat our dinner. We were both so ill.
I was just feeling a bit flushed, wasn't I, Bob?
Yeah, she was a bit flushed. So, Stardust, that's a psychic question. I'm only doing astrology questions today. Bring that to tomorrow's show.
She's not going to be able to reveal them all, like.
Who?
Majana.
Yeah.
What's her name again?
Marja. Yeah, I don't want to get into all that tonight. Yeah. All right. No offense, it's my day off. I'm just not doing psychic questions. I'm only doing astrology. Here's one from Christine C. Being a Scorpio, how do I tap into that sexy, seductive side of me? You know what you want to do, Christine? One of the traits that Scorpios have is their eyes or their power. Every Scorpio I've ever met has amazing eyes. I've seen your eyes. You have really great eyes. Huh?
I'm Scorpio moonbug.
Well, there you go. You've got it too. So what you want to do is enhance your eyes. Put focus on wear things that enhance your eyes. Maybe put a little makeup on, a little eyeliner. Do things that accentuate your eyes. That's your power center as a Scorpio.
If I put makeup on, I would need a trowel to scrape it all off. Have you seen the people on YouTube who put makeup on their face?
Yeah.
Dirty makeup over and over again.
Yeah, I've seen
people to scrape it all off.
Yeah, well, that's not going to be Christine's problem.
No, because she's a beautiful lady.
Okay, so there you go. Jaden P said, what's the history of astrology? Jaden, that would be a 6-hour answer right there. But in a nutshell, it's been practiced since ancient times, since ancient Babylonian astrologers. In ancient Babylon, they built 7-layered temples, 7 stepped up, like pyramid-type temples. And they used to use those as temples that they climbed to the top and study the stars. And it traveled into Western Europe. The ancient Greeks and Romans also studied the stars, but it started in the Far East, the ancient Mesopotamian times and Babylonian times, and then moved into Western Europe, and it's been with us ever since. So that's the 5-second history, but I hope that gives you a beginning. Look up Babylonian astrology. That'll give you some insight as to where it all started. There you go. Dawn Chance has a question. She says, how do I get less overwhelmed as a Capricorn? Dawn, it's hard for me to put that in a general term because I'd actually have to look at your astrology chart because your levels of anxiety may not be necessarily connected to being a Capricorn. It could be related to some transits or what do we call it? Some aspects in your natal chart. Like you may have certain planets placed in a certain alignment that trigger anxiety. So, I'd have to look at that in more detail. So I'm sorry, I can't really answer that in the way you'd like. Capricorns are an earth sign. Usually they're very grounded and focused. But if you don't feel grounded and focused as a Capricorn, that probably indicates you may have some placements of planets in your chart that overstimulate you. And we'd have to see what that is, and then that would determine how to combat it. A lot of people that do astrology encourage people to wear gemstones to balance out the energies in their body. For example, this bracelet I'm wearing, the I just knocked it off. Oh, well, I was going to show it anyways. The Navaratna, it's believed that wearing the gemstones counteract the negative influence of the planets. So let's say, for example, that Mars is very, very badly placed in my chart. So I have a lot of anxiety and temper because of Mars. Wearing the coral near my body will balance out that energy. Because if you think of the planets as almost like shooting rays of light down on us, these gemstones help nullify that energy in the body. So I'd have to, again, look at your chart to devise you which gems would work best. But if you don't know, a Navaratna bracelet will cover all the possibilities. That's why a lot of people wear it, because if you don't know every detail of your chart, you could miss something. So by wearing all the gems, then you're protected. You see, so that's one way to look at it. Okay, so yeah, Lady Jane, I agree with you on that about there's something else in the chart. Sandra Bradley says, hey, I'm a Cancer. It said we're moody. I don't know about that, though. Any thought on it? I don't really agree with those statements because I think everybody's so individual. Cancers are deep thinking. They're very sensitive. They feel things more deeply than others, but I wouldn't necessarily say moody, in my opinion. That's not been my experience of Cancers. Again, we'd have to look at your individual chart to know that. If you have that, if you don't feel like that's you, then don't claim it for you. Don't have to claim that. Because not every sign, everybody under every sign has the exact same traits. Like I told Dawn earlier, I said, you may have something that offsets your chart in some ways. And we all have our strengths and our weaknesses in our, we all have our strengths and our weaknesses in our signs, like for example, Aquarius, one of our strengths is we're very forward thinking. We have kind of visionary skills because we're an air sign. We also have Uranus as our ruling planet. Now, in its positive aspect, Uranus, our planet, gives us the power to be breaking through barriers, to be forward thinking. But if Uranus is, for example, even though it's the ruling planet of Aquarius, if it's badly placed in my chart, it's no longer a positive element. The negative side of Uranus is extreme, radical behavior, like not healthy, not balanced. Addictions, violence, all of that comes under Uranian energy. So, everybody's chart, the individual planets and the alignments affect it. So anyways, I hope that answers some of that, Rise Above says, hi, Bob, I'm a Cancer. I always feel I can tell when something's going to happen. Is that intuitive or psychic? It's both. Intuitive is psychic. Psychic is intuitive. Cancers are ruled by the moon, and the moon stimulates psychic development. So that's why I always say Cancers are very psychic. They're one of the most psychic signs of the zodiac. So it doesn't surprise me that you can feel it. The moon power, which rules your sign, puts you in touch with your inner feelings. That's why you feel that. So I'd say honor your inner feelings and let that be a strength. All right. And if you need help with that, every Saturday I teach a psychic development class. You can register over at PsychicBob.com. If you have any problems, people in the chat can help you with that. A lot of people here take my class. It's only $30. It's 2 hours one-on-one train live with me. I keep it a small group so people get a lot of time with me. Oh, Lady Jane says, Bob, I have one of those bracelets for the same reasons. Oh, you know about that. Yeah. Janie loves astrology. Janie, that's so cool that you have a Navaratna. I love this one. I think the gem work, it's hard to see her on camera, but they're real gems. That's like real rubies, real diamond. That's real sapphires. I treasure this. It's one of my favorite pieces of jewelry. When I was packing to travel, I thought, I can't leave without my Navaratna. So thank you for sharing that. I'd love to see yours. Scott from South Carolina says, people can change dramatically throughout their life. That is true, Scott. Yeah, and listen, I want to say something here as well before we go. There are some psychics right now, I saw some today, going out saying that astrology is fake, that people who teach astrology are entrapping you. I think they said something about false white light or something. I don't know. Astrology does not entrap you. This is a lie that this person is putting out. And they said that people who are doing astrology are entrapping you and trying to put you in a cult mentality. No, astrology is never meant to control your life. Now, I have seen astrologers who will use it that way, but never let it guide you. I always say the stars are guides and allies on our journey. They do not compel us nor control us.
Astrology goes back to ancient times.
It goes
Not
to,
that she would know that, right?
Yeah, it goes back to ancient times, Cola said. And this person who was saying it, she was trying to imply that people who teach astrology are entrapping you.
She needs a mental hospital, perhaps?
Well, let's not get into that. I won't say the name, but this was very disturbing to me that somebody's putting out this tripe, because astrology is a tool to empower you. Astrology should never control you. And this is why I'm saying, if an astrologer ever says to you, oh, Mercury's retrograde, you just have to stay in your house for the next month, you can't go out, don't believe that. Live your life as you always would. But let astrology be a guide to say, might keep an eye out on this energy. And it gives you a lot of insight. What did we have a few months ago? We had Sun Square Mars. And what did I tell you guys? I said Sun Square Mars says, be prepared. People around you are going to be aggressive, hostile, and flip out. So many of you wrote me that next week after that show, and you said, my God, Bob, this is exactly what I'm going through. How did you know that? I said, astrology is very objective. Alignments create energy. It's very scientific. This is not some cult or some entrapment and controlling your life. Things are in motion. If you can read the signs, you have the advantage. And I told you all back then, I said, when Sun Square Mars, I said, don't stay in your house and be afraid of the extremities you're going to run into. I said, know it going into it, therefore you don't get trapped in it. Astrology should free you. It should empower you to see options and know how to maneuver through stuff. It doesn't control your life. But this psychic, unfortunately, she's been saying, she's like, oh, astrology, you don't need that. It's a man-made system. It's entrapping you. I disagree, and I think it's terrible that she says it, and I'm going to correct it publicly because she's speaking falsehoods of things of which she knows not.
Psychic, my loss.
She claims to be a psychic, but she has no formal training, and she's putting out falsehoods, and I'm going to combat those falsehoods. So if you've heard that anywhere today, because it was put out today, that she's saying, it's all false, and then it's entrapping you in a false system. No, you can go tell her if you know who I'm talking about. Psychic Bob said it doesn't. It actually gives us the edge. So let astrology be a tool of power for you, not a tool of control and destruction. When I give you your horoscope, I'm not saying, here I am controlling your life by you must listen to my horoscope. I'm saying, this is what's going on in the cosmos. So if you can flow with it, you're going to be in a better position of power. You know, those of you who follow my horoscopes have said that how accurate they've been. They've helped your lives. And I'm very honored and touched to be able to do that. So don't buy into this psychic who's telling you that we are bad for doing astrology and that it's false and that she's the only one with the
She
way.
contradicts herself all the time, man. She hasn't got a clue what she's talking about, man. She's talking out the arse.
It's the truth. Anyways, I'm not going to name names. I'm not picking on people, but if you know who I'm talking about, please, just consider what I'm saying. All right. Anyways, guys, listen, we are late. We're at our hour. I've had such fun.
Baroness Colourbox has got a good question for you.
Oh, what's your question, Baroness? Go ahead.
Is it true that Capricorns are the most horniest out of all the signs?
I don't know. I have to explore that. Let me get back to you on that. All right, guys, listen. Thanks for being here. Hey, listen, the update for you guys. Also, a lot of you have been asking, Psychic Bob, where else are we going to go? We've got a lot more to show you. Just stay with my channel. We're going to have, video every day, and we're going to do our normal routine as much as we can. Some days I may have to change it up, but you can count on a live, show like we always have. Tomorrow we will have messages from the spirit world at the same time, 12 o'clock noon. We're also going to have an early morning video, something I do in England. I know a lot of you say, well, we want to go see the Glastonbury tour. We want to see the Chelsea. We will get that. It's just because of the holiday and illness that we haven't been able to get to all the big famous stuff you guys have been asking about. But I am going to take you there. So don't worry. There's a lot more to Glastonbury than just what I've shown you. I've only shown you some snippets. We're going to see a lot more amazing stuff. So I hope you'll hang with us on this European adventure. I'm having a great time, and I hope you guys are too. And I want to say thank you for being here. Thank you for your prayers for our healing. We're on the mend. This morning it was doubtful. I almost told Cole, I said, I don't know if we're going to be able to do the show. I'm so ill. And she was so ill. But we got through with your prayers and your support and a little help from ibuprofen. And I think we're going to make it, So thank you so much for being here. Oh, thank you, Robin. Robin says, Colin Bob, thank you for coming on tonight. Have a good night. I wouldn't miss it, guys. I love being with you all. And thank you for your friendship and support. So you know where we are. Be back here tomorrow for Messages from the Spirit World live stream, as it always is on Tuesdays, 12 o'clock noon Eastern U.S. time. That's 12 Eastern, 11 Central, 10 a.m. Mountain, 9 a.m. Pacific. For those of you in Europe, it'll be 5 p.m. London time, 6 p.m. Continental Paris/Western Europe time. So I hope you'll join us then. I'm looking forward to it. Excuse me. I love you all, and may all of you have a wonderful night. Blessed be. Call it, come over and say goodbye to everybody.
Good night. Goodbye.
Don't drop your face. Good night, guys. We'll see you tomorrow. Blessings to you all.